show transcript. Hide transcript. Colin Cowherd. Whitlock. You think Aaron Rodgers can save the Packer season? One problem. Aaron Rodgers can save a lot of seasons. The problem he's got is the Minnesota Vikings. I think, in Week 16, Minnesota Vikings right now, to me, are the best team in football. And I think it's going to take 10-6 to get into the playoffs in the NFC. Colin Cowherd. Yeah? That means they got to win them all. I don't think they can beat the Vikings, even with Aaron Rodgers making his magic. Colin Cowherd. The one thing I'll say, though, is that when it comes to baseball pitchers and quarterbacks, we watch their arms, but it's really all about legs. It's that drive for a pitch or a quarterback. Aaron, in his career, this will be the freshest his legs have ever been in December. So he's been sitting for 8 weeks, and he's been watching film, and he's been resting, and he hasn't taken those shots. And when you talk to quarterbacks, it doesn't matter who they are. Tom Brady. Drew Bledsoe's a friend of mine. He's like 45. He's like, I can still spin it. Laughter. He goes, I can throw it all day. He goes, legs are gone. Marino will tell you, legs are gone. Aaron's legs will be the best they've ever been in December. And if his legs are good, his arm's amazing. And I think they've got a shot to beat Minnesota with him. Case Keenum. Baby. Laughter. No way. First of all, they got to win the rest of their games. And let's just say they lose to Cleveland this week. Jason Whitlock. That's not that ain't happening. Let's just say it happens. This is the NFL. Let's say they lose to Cleveland. Now, they gonna be, what, 9 if they win the rest of them. Colin Cowherd. 6-7. 9. It's over. So would you bring him back then? Jason Whitlock. No. Hell no. Why? You put the jackass suit on everybody you could have a chance to get. To me, I think, the greatest quarterback that I've ever seen play. Hurt. It makes no sense. I mean, if they win, maybe. I still don't think they can beat Minnesota. Minnesota's defense, yeah? You can flick it in practice. That's easy. Flicking it around. When you get in them football games, when the bullets get real, the flicking ain't happening either. Laughter. I hear you there. But if they do win, and there's an opportunity for him to come back, I would put him in there. But the only thing that I'd be worried about is, yeah, he can flick it. You know, especially the way Aaron throws the ball. He uses that wrist more than his shoulder anyway, it seems like sometimes. I just wanted to make sure if he could, can he take that hit? But for him, it's a calculated risk. Windows closing. I love Aaron Rodgers. You know, how many more opportunities are you going to get? And especially with this football team. They're pretty good. When he's there, they are a different football team. Remember last year, they went up to Dallas, and I thought they had no shot in the playoffs. And you saw what Aaron Rodgers did. We talked about what Russell Wilson did on Monday night. That's the same stuff that Aaron Rodgers does consistently. A lot. That's why I agree with you. He's the best quarterback I've ever seen. Up close and personal. So if he's back, absolutely. Always bet on the Hall of Famer quarterback. If he's healthy and ready to go, they can win any game. By the way, 2013, we have a precedent. He hurt his collarbone. He came back late. He had to beat Chicago to get to the playoffs. And that there was the Randall Cobb touchdown. This is the play, actually. So we have a precedent. And I also think Aaron's better now than he was then. I think he's just better pre-snap. More savvier. Let me just throw this out there, too. If the Green Bay beats Cleveland this week, then Aaron comes back. So they're 7-6 and they have to sweep. The Packers have been competitive without him. You know, could I make the argument that, actually, it's helped kind of refine the team? They've had to play hard. They've had to be more. Jason Whitlock. You can make the argument. They've had to have been more resourceful and actually play cleaner football without him. You can make the argument. Laughter. Where it falls apart, I'm just Colin Cowherd. It's Minnesota. Minnesota, the Rams, the Saints, and even Philadelphia. But again, I really Minnesota, the Rams, the Vikings. I love all three of them. And so they've made do without him. But they haven't faced those guys, the elite of the NFC. And in the playoffs you can't avoid them. Again, I think Minnesota is going to be the obstacle of getting in the playoffs. But even if they get there, I just don't think his supporting cast. This is a loaded NFC. Eric Dickerson. Loaded. Loaded. I mean, when I think the Packers without Aaron Rodgers, they're just a football team. And you know, I think when you play the Packers now, you don't have Aaron Rodgers. So you know, we can beat them. So I think some teams have a tendency to bring it down. Okay, now we got to pick it back up. You know, we thought we could beat them.